Good morning, student. This is our 12th lecture of unit alcohols and phenols. In our previous lecture, we discussed how we can synthesize alcohols by hydration of alkenes. The reaction was alkene plus water in the presence of some acid catalyst, and the product was alcohol. We discussed in detail about this reaction, and this was called direct hydration. Okay, this direct addition of alkene to water is called direct hydration. But as we discussed this reaction, we found that this reaction proceeds through the carbocation intermediate, and generally whenever a carbocation is involved, we get some unexpected products. Like we discussed one example of a compound 3,3-dimethyl but 1 upon hydration, it gives us unexpected products. So I have discussed that example in my previous lecture. So, and second problem with this reaction is this is a reversible reaction, and in many alkenes the major product is once again alkene, because upon dehydration these alcohols under same conditions they also form alkenes. And the third problem with this reaction was, as I said, one is rearrangement reaction, these undergo rearrangement reactions, and also these alkenes under these acidic conditions they can undergo polymerization. These are side reactions, so polymerization or charring reactions. Charring means formation of carbon or charcoal. So that's why we need some alternative methods by which we can prepare alcohols from these alkenes, and one such method which is very important is oxymercuration and demercuration of alkenes. This is one step, it is commonly called oxymercuration demercuration reaction. Now let us see what this reaction is all about, but first let us see what are the advantages of this reaction. The main advantage is this reaction occurs under milder conditions. We don't require any strong acid like direct hydration. Second advantage is that there is no rearrangement reaction, so the alkene that we predict, only that alcohol is produced. And next advantage is that it gives the reaction occurs according to Markovnikov's rule. This is the orientation of this reaction. The overall addition of water to alkene is by Markovnikov's rule. And next advantage is that those alkenes which cannot react under direct hydration, because some alkenes they are not soluble in acid, so those alkenes which are not reactive for direct hydration, they can also react using this method to give us the resulting alcohol. Now let us see what this reaction is all about. As the name suggests, in first step addition of some mercury reagent takes place. Generally in this reaction the reagent that is used for mercuration is this HgOCOCH3 twice, or we can simply, this group is simply written as OAC. We can also write it as HgOAC twice. This is the main reagent that is used in this reaction. This is called mercuric acetate. The name of this reagent is mercuric acetate, and the reaction is, let us write the reaction. The reaction is the alkene react with this mercuric acetate. Now I will use this because it is easier to use, and the structure of this is, I have already written, this is mercuric acetate. OAC group means CH3COO negative, acetate group. This takes place in the presence of water and the product is on one carbon. There is addition of OH group. Now we will see the mechanism of this reaction in our next slides. On the second carbon there is the addition of HgOAC. This is called this is the organometallic compound. Why? Because here metal mercury is directly attached to carbon, so it is called this is organomercuryl alcohol. So we can call it organomercuryl alcohol. Now you see the name oxymercuration. First step is addition of mercury. We have added mercury. Second is demercuration. Now to obtain alcohol we have to remove this mercury and replace it by hydrogen. So the reagent that is used to do so is sodium borohydride. Now we will add NaBH4 to this. So I will write here the organomercuryl alcohol CHgOAC upon addition of sodium borohydride, it gives you COH and C. Here this whole group upon addition of NaBH4 it gets replaced by your hydrogen. So now the product is, you can see, alcohol. So overall the reaction is addition of water to this C double bond C. So we also call this indirect hydration. Why indirect hydration? Because we have not directly added water, but the overall product is addition of water to C double bond C, and this addition takes place according to Markovnikov rule. So if you have to predict the product, what will be the product after oxymercuration and demercuration, simply add water to alkene according to Markovnikov rule. So H will go to that carbon which already has more hydrogens, and OH will go to that carbon which has, so we can write water as HOH, which has lesser number of hydrogens. So we will see in our next slides why the overall reaction takes place according to Markovnikov's rule. Now you can see what I have told you. This step, as the name suggests, oxymercuration. This step is oxymercuration and the product is organomercuryl alcohol, and in the second step demercuration takes place and the reagent which is added to cause demercuration is sodium borohydride and the product is alcohol. This is called indirect hydration. Now let us understand the mechanism of this reaction. This reaction is, again, as we know that these alkenes, they undergo electrophilic addition reactions. So this is an example of electrophilic addition reaction, and first we have to see what is the electrophile in this. The electrophile is generated by the ionization of mercuric acetate HgOAC twice, and upon self ionization it gives you HgOAC positive plus OAC negative, where OAC it is CH3 C double bond O. This is O. I have already discussed, this is the acetate group. Now the reagent, this reagent HgOAC, it acts as a electrophile in this reaction. And please also keep in mind this mercury also has a lone pair of electrons with it. So this is the electrophile in our today's reaction. Now let us see how the reaction will take place. So the first step, as we all know that in all these reactions, the first step is addition of electrophile. Okay, addition of electrophile to alkene. So what happens? Suppose we have any alkene, C double bond C plus, as I said, our electrophile is HgOAc positive. It also has 2 electrons. So what happens is that this electrophile, it attacks alkene. So this comes here and this comes here. What we get is, we get a very interesting product after this, which is a intermediate, is this C. This mercury gets attached to both the carbons. We get a cyclic intermediate. This is positive OAc. This is called mercurium ion. Mercurium ion. This is a organometallic cyclic cation. Why it is organometallic? Because this carbon is attached to mercury. So first step is the formation of this mercurium ion. So instead of this dotted bond, you can also show it with the help of these solid bonds. That is also correct. See this OAc positive. Now what happens in the second step? Second step involves the attack of water. Now what happens, as this mercury has positive charge, so what happens, these 2 carbons, they also, due to this positive charge on mercury, it starts attracting electron pair of this carbon mercury bond towards itself. So due to that, both these 2 carbons, they acquire a partial positive charge, because Hg positive, this species Hg positive, is more electronactive than carbon. So due to this, it attracts the electrons of these bonds towards itself. So these 2 carbons, they require a partial positive charge. Now what it means, these can be attacked by the nucleophiles, and the nucleophile is water. So next step is, water adds to this intermediate, which is a mercurium ion, and the ring opens up. Let us see how this step takes place. This I will write this intermediate C HgOAc positive. Now what happens, water, which has 2 lone pair of sorry, I will write little bit up. So this water OH, it has 2 lone pair of electrons. They attack this carbon and this bond shifts here, and what you get is COH positive CHgOAc. This is the product when this water, which acts as a nucleophile, it attacks this carbon. Why? Because it has a partial positive charge, and the ring opens up. This is also called ring opening by attack of the nucleophile. Now what happens, This cation which is formed, I will write once again. Here we had, we can say COH positive, CHGOAC. Yeah, this was the product. Now either OAC negative or water, out of these two they can abstract a proton from here. So suppose it is water, what happens, it abstracts a proton and this electron goes to oxygen. What happens, we get OH HgOAC. This is a product. What was the name of this product? Organomercuryl alcohol. Organomercuryl alcohol. Now what we had to do next? We have to do, now it is a mercuration step. This was the mechanism of mercuration step. In the next step we have to remove this mercuric group from here. So as I said, we can remove it with the help of sodium borohydride. Basically this one group will be replaced by hydrogen. Now NaBH4 has 4 hydrogens, so one molecule of sodium borohydride, it can react with the 4 molecules of this mercuryl alcohol. So I will write here 4 OH HgOAC plus NaBH4 plus OH negative. You will get, I will write here, this group will be replaced by hydrogen. We get 4 COH H plus, now these 4 hydrogens, they have replaced this HgOC. We get NaBOH4 plus 4 mercury plus 4 OAC negative. So that is the demercuration step. This step is called demercuration. So you get alcohol as the product. So the mechanism is quite easy. So you can see the first step is, first the generation of electrophile. Electrophile is generated by ionization of mercuric acetate, and this is our electrophile. The first step of mechanism after generation of electrophile, this electrophile attacks alkene, and you get a cyclic intermediate which is mercurium ion. It is an organometallic cyclic cation. Basically it is a 3-membered cation. Now because of positive charge on mercury, its electron activity increases, and these 2 carbons, they acquire a partial positive charge. Now these can be attacked by nucleophiles, and the nucleophile that attacks them is water. So when water attacks these carbons, so what happens, you get this product, the ring opens up. This is called ring opening step. So this step is ring opening step by nucleophiles. In the next step, the proton from this species, it can either be removed by water itself or by acetate ion. It can remove proton from here, and you get organomercuryl alcohol. And as the name suggests, the next step was demercuration. Demercuration is done with the help of sodium borohydride, and you get alcohol. So please look carefully here. Nowhere there is a generation of free carbocations. So there is no free carbocation. These carbons, they acquire partial positive charge. They show some electrophilic character, but these are not carbocations. They are no free carbocations in no step. So we can say in this reaction, no free carbocation is generated. That means there is no possibility of rearrangement. That is the beauty of this reaction. There is no possibility of rearrangement. Okay, so that is the advantage of using hydration by this method. No side product or rearrangement products are formed. Now let us discuss about orientation of this process. As I mentioned you in my previous slides, that this addition of water takes place according to Markovnikov rule. So overall this reaction, this oxymercuration demercuration is the overall product. If we do oxymercuration and demercuration, what happens overall is addition of water. Okay, the reaction is addition of water. The water addition takes place in such a way, this takes place according to your Markovnikov's rule, as I mentioned. That means this hydrogen will go to a carbon which has higher number of hydrogens, and OH group will go to that carbon which has lesser number of hydrogen atom. Now let us see how this addition is according to Markovnikov's rule. Suppose let us take the example of propene. Now we will study this with the example of propane. Propane is, as you know, CH3, CH double bond, CH2. We have to discuss the addition here around this double bond. Now let us see step by step. First let us do its oxymercuration. Now CH3, CH double bond, CH2 plus HgOAc positive. As you this attacks here, these two electrons, these attack here, and we get a cyclic intermediate. Okay, CH3, CH, CH2, Hg positive OAc. Now this is the mercurium cation that is formed. Now the next step was addition of water. The second step was your addition of water. Now water has to add, or we can say addition of nucleophile. So as water is a nucleophile, now it can attack either this carbon, suppose I have given it number 1, or this carbon, suppose I have given it number 2. Now this water can attack this carbon as well as this carbon. Generally in this reaction, remember it, nucleophile attacks more substituted position. So you have to remember why this. So I will also discuss. Now let us write CH3, CH2, Hg positive OAc. We have to add water. Now water will attack this water, it will attack this carbon because it is more substituted. It will not attack. So what I can do is I can choose a different color. So there are two possibilities. For water to attack, it can attack this, it can attack this carbon, but this attack does not take place. This attack is dominating. Generally, as I written, nucleophile attacks more substituted position or more substituted carbon. Now let us understand why. Now this can be explained on the, as I told you that there are no free carbocations generated, but these two carbons, they acquire a partial positive charge. Okay. Now the stability of we will try to explain this on the basis of stability of carbocation. So though that carbon will have more positive charge which is more stable. Okay. Now you have to see if we have positive charge on this carbon. This is a, you can see, secondary carbon. So this carbon is a secondary carbon, this carbon is a primary carbon. Now if this carbon carries a positive charge, it will be a secondary carbocation, like, as there are no free carbocations. If this carbon carries a positive charge, it will be like primary carbocation. Now out of this secondary and primary, as we know that secondary carbocations, they are more stable than primary carbocations. So there is more possibility of having positive charge on this carbon relative to this. Why? Because when positive charge is on this carbon, positive charge is on second carbon, then this condition is more stable because this alkyl group, it stabilizes the positive charge. So this system, when positive charge is carried by second carbon, that system is more stable when relative to the case when positive charge is carried by one carbon. So the nucleophile will attack a stable configuration, so it will attack this carbon which has higher chance of getting positive charge, and the product you can write here after addition of water here, what you get, CH3 CHO H2 positive, CH2 Hg O AC. Next step, you know, this proton, they will be abstracted by water or some OAC negative ions. So they, from here you will get minus H positive. From here, so you will get CH3 CHOH CH2 HgOAC. Now hydrogen will come at that carbon which is attached to mercury, because there is no direct addition of hydrogen. When we react this with sodium borohydride, this hydrogen will replace this HgOAC group and the product will be CH3 CHOH CH2H, or we can say CH3. Just for your reference, I have written here CH2H means this group has been replaced by hydrogen. Now you see overall what has happened. Overall the final product is addition of H and OH has taken place to C double bond C, and H has gone to that carbon which has higher number of hydrogens. So H was added to here which contains 2 hydrogen, whereas OH was added to this carbon which contained less number of hydrogen. It contained only 1 hydrogen. So we can say the addition was according to Markovnikov rules, which says that Markovnikov rule was that we can write water as it is positive part, it is a negative part, which says that positive part of the addendum goes to that carbon which has higher number of hydrogen atoms. It has higher hydrogen atoms, so this H has added here, you can see overall, and OH has gone to that carbon which had lesser number of hydrogen. So this is a indirect hydration, please keep in mind. This is not a direct hydration because we have not directly added water. After final number of steps, the overall reaction is addition of water according to Markovnikov rule. So means the product orientation is similar to the orientation that we obtain with the direct hydration. So that's why this reaction takes place according to Markovnikov rule. So the thing here is to remember oxymercuration demercuration reaction is overall basically the final product is the addition of water to C double bond C according to Markovnikov rule. This you can remember for your competitive exams, that for because you cannot do all these steps there, you just have to remember, but you should know the mechanism, that the oxymercuration demercuration reaction is the overall reaction is the addition of water to alkane according to Markovnikov rule. This you have to remember. So now let us do its comparison with the simple hydration. Let us do the comparison of oxymercuration and demercuration, because both are hydrations. Overall reaction is the addition of water to alkane, whether directly or indirectly. Now let us compare this with hydration. Now we will choose this product CH3 thrice CH double bond CH2, or we can also write it like CH3 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 CH double bond CH2. This is 1 2 3 4 3 3 dimethyl 3 3 dimethyl 3 3 dimethyl butadiene. So that is this product. Now first let us do, if we do its oxymercuration demercuration reaction, CH3 thrice CH double bond CH2. If we do its oxymercuration demercuration, we can write like this: HgOAc twice water and NaBH4. So this is our reagent. So this, if something is written like this on this reaction arrow, that means it is a oxymercuration demercuration reaction. And what will be the product? We know that the product is addition of water. So the overall reaction is addition of water to C double bond C. We have to add water to C double bond C according to Markovnikov rule. Okay, that is the overall reaction product of this oxymercuration demercuration reaction, addition of water to CH double bond CH2. Now water is once again I will write so that you don't get confused. HOH, where this is the positive part, this is the negative part. Now according to Markovnikov rule, this positive part will go to that carbon which has higher hydrogens, it has 2 hydrogens. This negative part will go to the carbon which has a lesser number of hydrogen, because it has only 1 hydrogen. It has 2, it has 1, and we have to choose those carbons which are involved in double bond formation. We need not to bother about these carbons, these 2 carbons which form a double bond. Now let us write the product. The product is CH3 thrice CHOH CH3, as we also know that in this reaction no rearrangement can take place. No rearrangement can take place. Why? Because no formation of free carbocations. Okay, so this is the product. We can simply, without considering any other thing, you can simply predict the product of oxymercuration demercuration, as there will not take place any rearrangement. So simply add water to the C double bond C according to Markovnikov rule. That will be the short product of oxymercuration demercuration. Now let us compare this with the hydration. Let us compare it with the hydration. Hydration means direct hydration. Now if you remember, we have done this in our previous lecture, when we did its direct hydration, we get CH3, 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 CH double bond, CH2, water and H positive. The major product that was obtained was this. So unexpected product was obtained, CH3, CH3. Why this product was obtained, I have explained you in my previous lecture. Once again I will explain to you in my next slide. So we get rearranged product. So the advantage of oxymercuration, demercuration is that there does not take place any rearrangement. We can simply predict the product according to Markovnikov's rule, but here Markovnikov rules takes place, but there is a possibility of rearrangement reaction. Now let us see how this rearrangement has taken place. I have already discussed in my previous lecture, but once again I will discuss it with you because it is a important point to remember that whenever there is a formation of free carbocations, the rearrangement will take place. Now what was the mechanism of this reaction? First step was the protonation because of, now I will not write the complete mechanism, I will write the steps. First step is protonation. Protonation will add here. Now the positive charge will come on that carbon which forms a stable carbocation. Now it will come on this carbon because when I will first let me write structure CH3, CH3, CH positive, CH3. Now the first thing that we have to consider when we add H positive, that it will add to that carbon of double bond which forms a stable carbocation. Now if H adds here, as I have done CH3, the positive charge comes on this carbon. Now this is a secondary carbocation which is more stable. If we have added H to this, the positive charge would have come on this carbon and this was a primary carbocation that is less stable. So this is more stable. So first of all, the first step, addition of proton acid, is take place in such a way that we get a stable carbocation. But this carbocation, from this carbocation we can still make a new carbocation which is more stable if we shift this methyl group from this carbon to this carbon which carries a positive charge. This is called methyl shift. Okay, methyl shift. If we do this methyl shift, what will happen? CH3, CH3. Now this methyl has shifted from this carbon to next carbon, CH3, CH3. Now this carbon, it contains positive charge. Now you can see this carbocation is a tertiary carbocation. Why? Because it is attached to 1, 2, 3 carbons. So that's why it is more stable. 3 degree carbocation is more stable than 2 degree carbocation. So from this we get this, and the driving force is the resulting carbocation is a tertiary carbocation which is more stable than secondary carbocation. So it provides the energy for, or this is the driving force for this methyl shift. Now there is addition of OH negative to this more stable carbocation. It comes here, so we get CH3C, CH3, OH, CH3, CH3. So in short we get rearrangement product. The product that we were expecting from this was, we were expecting that we should get this product CH3, 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 CHOH, CH3, which we have obtained from oxymercuration and demercuration. This is the product obtained from oxymercuration and demercuration. We were expecting this product from direct hydration also, but as it involves formation of carbocations and they can undergo rearrangement reactions, so this is rearrangement reaction. So we get an unexpected rearranged product. So when we have to add water and we want to add it to a specific position, we wanted to make only this, Now suppose from this we wanted to make only this product, we could not make it with the direct hydration, because when we do the direct hydration we will get this product. So this product we can obtain only with the help of oxymercuration, demercuration. So that is the advantage of oxymercuration, demercuration, that it occurs under milder conditions, no acid is required, and there is no rearrangement product. Why? Because there is no formation of free carbocations. So that was all for today, friends. So today we discussed oxymercuration, demercuration reaction, demercuration reaction of alkenes, C double bond C, and the overall reaction is overall summary of this reaction is the overall product is addition of water to alkane according to Markovnikov rule. The orientation of this reaction is that it takes place according to Markovnikov rule, and the next advantage was that no rearrangement occurs in this reaction, as there is no free carbocation which is generated in this reaction. So these are the some advantage of this reaction according to direct hydration. In our next slide we will study yet another reaction of alkane to synthesize alcohols. It is hydroboration oxidation reaction. First we do hydroboration, then we do oxidation to get alcohols, and the addition takes place anti-Markovnikov. We will discuss it in our next lecture. Till then, good luck. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and also share it with your friends. Thank you very much for your attention. Good luck.